Hello everyone, welcome to another Dungeons and Dragons Player Journal. So this one covers yesterday's session where we were still on our way down into Nyrond to investigate Shadowfell, I believe it was. Obviously last week we were journeying and were ambushed by some ogres and frost barbarians. This week we hit the forest and despite some amusing showing off from one of the party members trying to show off his new fireball, which angered the local elves as he just blasted a big copse of trees, and we had to talk our way out of that one. It was a relatively short session last night. We got in, and then obviously the map comes down, and we place our figures. We're going through, and it's quite obviously going to be an ambush. There is a corpse, what looks to be holding a gem in a clearing, and right, you don't want to go in there. I don't care how magical this gem is. It's a trap. I don't want to have to go in there and trigger this trap. But obviously, the entire session's hinging on us doing stuff. So we go through, and we softly approach it. And eventually we ask, we'll summon the Wood Elves back, and they come and they're like, no, don't know what you're talking about. We don't use this grove anymore. And going through, and just, you can see it we just have to take that one step forwards, and the ambush is going to be sprung. So we go ahead, and eventually it gets triggered, and the anthills, I can't remember what we're called now. The giant bug monsters, I can show you, I imagine. There you go. See these giant, horrible, gribbly monster things come and ambush us, and they get surprise on us. We take like a full round of being hit, and then they go again because they roll pretty high for initiative. But then intrepid young wizard, definitely not an evil warlock, he's definitely a wizard. Casts his fireball and blasts a few of them, and eventually we've all hit level 5, so we just hack our way through them. And it was a relatively simple encounter once we'd triggered it, and it brings into mind, well, do you make the actual fight the difficult part of the encounter, or do you make the role-playing side of it? Other than the party's greed of trying to get this gem, there was no real reason for us to go there other than metagaming, knowing that we want some XP for this session. So the only reason we trigger the ambush is to get the XP to move us towards leveling up. And it was a shame. I feel like there could have been a couple more hooks in there for this session. It's the first time I've felt that way when we've been playing this campaign, and I'm still relatively new to, well, I'm brand new to D&D 5th edition. I've never played before. My first 5th Ed campaign. And this one definitely just felt like you need XP, so go and do this if you like. And other than my inability to pass rolls, and I do okay when we're fighting, but anytime it's a con check or a dex check or anything, I just fail all of those. So I took like a bucket load of damage for no response, and then as soon as we start swinging, things start dying. But it didn't feel like we accomplished. I always like, if there's going to be a fight, I always like to feel like there was a purpose behind it, and the purpose behind this one did just feel like granting XP. Obviously, it's the overall reason you're playing is to level up your characters and finish the story. But this one felt a little bit tacked on. And on the back of the map, as you can see, just were behind Ursok, and I forgot the bird's name, it's terrible. There was pretty much just an open path we were walking along, right on the edge of the map, and we were practically off the map when nothing had happened. So we came back around and went and triggered this ambush. It's like, we shouldn't have come back. We should have just gone and it's as players, you don't really want to screw your DM over. He's put effort into actually making the session, so there was a little bit of that. And then after it finished, we got to the other party members managed to go through all of the sludge and everything, searching for treasure. I was like, I'm not doing that. My character's a royal prince. There's no way he cares enough about gems to fish through gloop and horrible remains. You guys can sort that out. I'm gonna sit on top and clean my sword, which went down relatively well, you know. Always making friends and influencing people. But we go through and then we continue on our way, and we're basically in Niron now. So it's my home, and we get to do a little bit of role playing there and progress the story somewhat. So we're gonna meet next week. Hopefully, we'll have a meeting with the Queen, which is my mum, I think it is, and we'll go from there. Hopefully, I've got some conversations that need to be had. The only other thing I wanted to talk about, obviously, I said I painted a couple of the guys' characters. I think you saw Ursok in the background there, but there's a picture of Ursok as well. He's the half-orc that I painted for one of the guys. I'm relatively happy. I wanted to try something different for the skin tones, so that's where I put most of my effort on this model. As I said on Marcus's model, I put a lot of effort into shoulder guards. I'm not charging for painting these, I'm just doing them because I want to practice different things, and this was a good chance to practice doing a different skin tone. I wanted him to be almost like the Uruk-hai from Lord of the Rings, and that's what I managed to do on him. So hopefully you enjoyed this shorter video. If you did, make sure you leave some comments about your thoughts on just XP grinding encounters, and if there's better ways of approaching it, different things you've seen. And yeah, leave some comments, like the video, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see you on the next one.